Clare FM's Beyond Belief with Stephen Fletcher.
Clare FM.
Good evening, it's just after 9 o'clock on Sunday the 31st of May, and you're very welcome to Beyond Belief. It's great to be back with you again. Stephen Fletcher with you for this hour of conversation and music. In our programme tonight we hear from a Church of Ireland deacon who was recently ordained in St Mary's Cathedral in Tuam. The Revd Rachel Kenny talks about her training and what she hopes for the future. Also, Fr Gerry and I discuss Pope Leo's encyclical, Magnificat Humanitas, and realise how we should be wary of AI. And Fr Gerry tells us of teaching 60-year pupils about the Catholic ethos. And we end our programme with a tribute to the singer-songwriter Harry Chapin, the man who turned everyday lives into unforgettable music. But we start with this from Shannon, the Galway Girl.
I took a stroll down the old long walk of the day. I met a little girl and we stopped to talk on a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. And I knew right then I'd be taking the world down to Salt Hill Prom with a Galway girl. We were halfway there when the rain came down on the day. She asked me up to her flat downtown on a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. So I took her hand and I gave her a twirl, and I lost my heart to a Galway girl. So when I woke up, I was all alone, with a broken heart and a ticket home. And I ask you now, what would you do? If her hair was black and her eyes were blue. You see, I traveled around, I've been all over the world, and boys, I've never seen nothing like a Galway girl.
As can be, all good pals and jolly good company.
Well, here we are again, enjoying the sunshine, although this week the sunshine has declined a bit, but it has been nice earlier in the week, Jerry, hasn't it? Anyway, it's very good to see you.
And very good to see you too, Stephen. And yes, it was a marvellous week. I think just people's spirits lifted when the sun was there for the day. Just strolling around Kilkee earlier in the week to see the beach full, or people out swimming, and it was just, it would lift your heart,
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, it's a necessary tonic, isn't it? It was much needed because it seemed to have been a long winter.
It was. I found it a very long. It was cold up to just a few weeks ago, and sort of the dampness was there all the time. So it was. We never did really get a good break, a long period of dry weather. But I think the farmers. I see all the tractors are out. They're busy working this week, getting a lot done.
Good.
And it has changed the mood. I think for a lot of people it has.
Yeah, one of the things that has happened this week, of course, is the encyclical from Pope Leo on AI and on computers and things, which we've been reading. You've been sharing articles with me, and I've been looking at articles in our press as well. And the general consensus seems to be that he's on the right track with that.
Well, yeah, we talked about this last week, and the document itself was published last Monday, 25th of May. And some of the commentators are saying, well, this is very timely, because I suppose we've all got used to technology, and we hear a lot about the development of this artificial intelligence and the impact that will have. Now, a lot of it will be good, I think. And we welcome not a lot of the developments, especially around healthcare and all of that, which have the progress of technology has helped us with scanning and all of the medical cares that are there now. So technology is good, and we have it in our pockets, in our phones and things like that, but it's very powerful as well. Yeah. And what's important, as with any machine, when we get into our cars, they're all so very powerful. I don't know what's under the bonnet, but it gets me from A to B. But it's how I use it. And the rules of the road tell me there's certain controls I have to have in place, not to be speeding and keep on the right side of the road and things like that. And I think what the Pope is asking is that in some way, this new artificial intelligence and the technologies associated with that we can't just let them guide us. We have to have some sort of ethical use of them. Yeah. And that's what he's primarily calling on.
Yeah. It's, I think that's absolutely right as well. We need to be in control. We can't let them be autonomous and take decisions without relying on a human somewhere.
And what he's doing in this document, I think, it's a long document. There's 42,000 words in the document itself. And he's divided into chapters. But when he's talking about it, he's sort of saying, well, we have to have some sort of overall ethical guideline on it. And what he's proposing is worth looking at is the social doctrine of the church, which has evolved since his predecessor's time, Leo XIII. And he had a groundbreaking encyclical at the time of the Industrial Revolution. Yeah. Leo XIV is now having this document at a time of another revolution, if you like, a technology revolution. But he's saying, the guiding principles of social justice are really, really important. And these are things like that the human person is put at the center of things, that the common good is important. The universal destination of goods, like, what are they for? How do we use them? This whole principle that I've always loved, subsidiarity, which really means, it's a big word, but when you break it down, it's very important. It means that you make decisions at as local a level as you possibly can. And only when it becomes bigger, you go up the line. Rather than the top imposing stuff, decisions are made on the ground. And that's a key principle in everything. In fact, like the whole EU is based on that to some extent.
Yes.
Because each country makes its own decisions, but then we come together and as a unit in the EU, other decisions are made at a higher level.
Yeah.
But, that whole thing of social justice and being solidarity with those, especially he's very much conscious of the weaker people in our world.
Yes.
Those that don't have access maybe to the technologies we have here in the West, and how they can be impacted by all of this.
And some of the articles I was reading about Pope Leo are that he is a master of the computer himself. His brother used to phone him up if there was a problem with the PC at home, and he would get it sorted by the Pope. But that's encouraging, really, if he's actually master to an extent of a PC sort of thing. So at least he has an understanding of the principles of computing and things.
Oh, yes. There's a lot in this document, really, which I think over time will be broken down. But I mean, what he's doing right from the beginning, in fact, the very opening words, the grandeur of humanity, the magnificence of humanity is so important, and that we don't compromise that to artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
That's essentially what he's saying. The human still needs to be in control.
Yeah.
And like he makes very relevant little points about it, like artificial control would have enormous difficulty trying to grasp, negotiate the thing of something like mercy, being merciful. That's a human quality that we work at. Things like compassion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's an algorithm that will actually produce how to be compassionate with a person in difficulty.
No.
These are the qualities we need as humans to negotiate life. They are so important. They touch our hearts.
Yeah.
And
a very interesting document. Let's hope that it does affect how people use computers and how they rely on them, and how they keep control and make sure that the computer does not control the human controls the computer.
Right, that's the key sort of message on it. I think in all this discussion, I think it's it's a powerful statement as well in terms of education and dealing with schools and things like that. Like, there's more to being in the classroom than just learning rote off the book and things like that. It's there. We have social interaction. There may be disputes. There may be some bit of conflict going on and things like that. But how the school deals with it, and that's how people learn about how to deal with conflict in life, how to deal with problems or things like that. Those things, you won't find those in your phone.
Yeah. Your Catholic school ethos.
So important.
The computer can't regulate you in that way.
One of the joys that I've had from time to time is maybe going into a sixth class a school. And I think in part of the sixth class program for our Grow in Love religious program, there is the parable that always used to confuse me a little bit, but it's the parable about the vineyard owner who brings in somebody and says, I'm going to give you a denarius for your work. And then as the day goes on, he brings somebody else in, and later on the day brings finally that. And then when it comes to payment, he gives everybody exactly the same, even though the crowd that came in last have only worked an hour, but they get the same wage as the people who did it. And when you throw that out to a class, you would be amazed at the discussion it evokes, because you're dealing with things like justice, you're dealing with things like generosity, you're dealing with things like fairness, and you're dealing with, really important questions that, are part and parcel of the fabric of life. And it's like that. They're the things that help us negotiate through life. These are things that you explore and you open people's minds to through the gospel stories. And in our religious program, that's what the whole emphasis is on. Even things in our own lives, I know myself, Spotify is a favourite thing for me, because if I'm looking for music, I have all my stuff loaded on that. But I'm amazed with the advances of technology that when I go into Spotify now, it's actually choosing music for me of what I might like based on what I have downloaded before or used before. And okay, that's good. But again, I have to be in control of that. I'll scroll down through it and say, oh, I might like that, I mightn't like that, and things like that. It's an amazing thing.
It is.
It's
It is. We're using technology in that way. And coming up in the programme, I'm looking at Harry Chapin. That popped up on my playlist. I hadn't thought of Harry Chapin for many years, but when I was far, far younger in the 70s, I first came across him, and he tells such wonderful stories in music, and they've always got a little tag to make you think, And so I'm doing a bit like yourself. Every now and then we like to just play some music, don't we? And in your case, it would be musicals and classic things like that from the past. And in my case, it's going back to the 70s, and I'll be playing some music from Harry Chapin and hearing a little more about Harry and his songs. They take everyday people, everyday life, and just hold a mirror up to them. So it's good, and that's coming up. So, Gerry, thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in the week. And please God, the weather will get better, and we'll meet again.
Always great to sit down and chat with you, and thanks for this and for the refreshments that was always provided here in this wonderful place.
Yeah.
And always great to chat with you, Stephen, and thank you very much.
Not at all. Thanks, Gerry. Well, I'm delighted to have been joined by Rachel Kenny, who was recently ordained deacon in the Church of Ireland and is now serving her diaconate in the Tuam parish, or Tuam and Omi.
Tuam and Omi group of parishes, yeah.
Right. And so that is that is concentrated on the Cathedral, really, isn't it? But what other parishes have we got around?
So there's also Clifton, Moyard, Ashley, Cong, Roundstone. I've forgotten. I know I've forgotten some others there somewhere.
Oh, right. So there's a good few then.
There is a number, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Well, it's a good job there's two of you to cover it then.
So Diane's been very busy, yeah.
Yeah. Good. So this happened earlier this year, and let's just go back. I can tell from your accent that you were born and brought up not far away from where I was born and brought up. I was brought up in northeastern Hampshire, and about 30 miles from northeastern Hampshire, Basingstoke, where I was brought up, is Southampton, and that's where you were brought up.
Yeah, I was born in Southampton and raised just outside Southampton, in Eastleigh.
Oh, yeah, I know Eastleigh, of course. Yeah. So who else is in your family?
So when I was younger, it was my mum and dad, and I had an older sister and two younger brothers. And then after I turned 16, I gained two more younger brothers.
Oh, good.
So.
Good. So you're quite a large family down there.
So, group of five.
And so how did you end up in Ireland?
I met an Irishman. I came across as part of my theology and social science degree, I did an Erasmus in Dublin, and I met him in Mater Dei Institute in Dublin. After long distance relationship, ended up coming over to Ireland.
Oh, lovely. You went to university in the UK, did you?
Well, first of all, I became an audiologist.
Right.
And I worked in audiology for quite a few years in Southampton University. And then I applied at that point, interestingly enough, to be an ordained minister. And at that time, I was not recommended. They said it was the wrong time, and I agree. It was the wrong time, but I felt the call and I was responding to it. And when they gave me my feedback, they said I wasn't interested in theology enough. So I went off and decided, well, I think I am interested, so I'm going to go and do a theology degree. So that's what I did. I gave up my job and went and did a theology degree.
And that was in the UK?
Yes, I went north to York.
Oh, right.
In York.
Is that St John's?
It is St John's,
Yes.
Ripon and York St John's, and I came across from Ripon and York St John's as part of my Erasmus to Dublin. Yep,
And which is where you met your husband, whose name
Mike,
is
yep.
Mike.
Mike.
Good.
Yeah.
And he drew you over, or you met him in Dublin, so you're already there.
Yes, I met him in Dublin. I got him to move to England initially, but his parents gave us a site to build on next door to their house, so we took the temptation and came back to live in Ireland.
So his family came from where in Ireland?
In Milltown. So he was born and brought up in Milltown in County Galway. And that's where we live now.
Ah, very good. Good. So, and how long ago was that you came across and built a house?
We moved over nearly 23 years ago.
Good. So you're nearly here long enough to consider yourself a token Irish woman.
I'm still a blow-in, according to the locals. I'm still a blow-in, and I always will be.
I'm the same. I've been blowing in for 40 odd years.
Yeah, well, I got my Irish citizenship, and the day I got my Irish citizenship, I discovered I had great-grandparents in Renville in County Galway as well.
Oh, right.
Connemara.
Wow. So you really are coming home then, really?
So I did come home.
Oh, great. So you're not doing audiology now?
No, I stopped audiology to look after my adult son who had extra needs.
Ah, right. And how is he now?
Well, he still needs support, so I'm still here supporting him. Yeah.
Very good. Good. Okay. So you're living in Milltown and you thought you would study. Did you need to study in the Church of Ireland or did you manage to convince them that your qualifications from York were sufficient?
Oh, no. Go back to tell the start of the story is that I was attending both the Cathedral and in Claremorris at the McWilliam Hotel, which is where the Claremorris crowd met. And lovely Reverend Andrea Wills, said to me, had I ever considered the ordained ministry? And I said, yes, but I hadn't for a long time. So she started me off on the journey and I began thinking about it and knowing that the call was still there.
Good.
It had never gone away, but it was embers rather than a raging fire.
Yeah.
And so I then went to do the foundation course, as it was called back then. It's now this changed to the CCTP course.
Yeah, that's at CITI. That's the Church of Ireland Institute of Theology.
Yeah. So I went to the Church of Ireland Theological College to do the foundation course, yes.
Good. And how long did that take?
So that was an 18-month course. I started it right at the start of the pandemic, which wasn't the best way to be doing it.
No, you had to do it distance learning, I suppose, did you?
It was all distance learning, yeah.
So at least you didn't have to go to Dublin every week.
No, we just had the one meeting in Dublin, and that was all we managed for the whole of the course.
Which probably suited you if you were in Milltown. Yeah,
although I think when you're studying, it's good to be able to meet in person as well.
Absolutely.
I like the fact that the courses in CITI are blended courses, so you meet in person and it's also online.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. And so you passed your final exams there this year, did you?
No, that was, as I say, back in COVID times. And at that time, we had a different bishop, our previous bishop, and I was offered to apply to the full stipendiary ministry or to ordained local ministry, whichever. He was happy for me to put myself forward for either. And at that point, I still knew that it wasn't the right time.
Right.
And I still had some questions. So I paused and I asked what I could do in the meantime. And he said, train as a diocesan reader.
Right.
So I started the diocesan reader training, but at CITI rather than the other course.
Yeah.
The course.
Yeah. And so how long were you a diocesan reader?
So I was commissioned as a diocesan reader 3 years ago, but the training for that was another 2 years.
Wow. It certainly shows dedication, because perhaps we should explain that a diocesan reader, well, you lead and preach, really.
That's correct, yeah. I lead morning prayer or evening prayer or compline.
Yeah.
You know. It was the reverse, really, for me. It was taking a pause, taking time to decide. Part of it was which route to take,
Yeah.
whether to go for full stipendiary ministry or ordained local ministry. And the year I was doing that particular initial training for becoming a Darson reader, the decision became very clear. I could no longer go for stipendiary anyway,
Right.
because his care needs became more. And then it was a case of, am I still called to the ordained local ministry? And so I was pursuing those thoughts for a while as well.
Good. And so you were actually ordained earlier this year?
Yeah, I was ordained deacon on Mothering Sunday, Mother's
Very
Day
good.
this year.
Good. Good. And then next year, please God, you'll be ordained as
Priest in the ordained local ministry. If everything goes well, I should be ordained next year. But that will be yet to be fully decided. But
yeah. I'm sure we look forward to seeing you ordained as a full priest, but not ordained local priest, which means that, just again, to all those who don't fully understand, the differences that we have, that means that you are licensed as a priest in a certain area.
Yes. So my licence covers the Tuam and Omi group of parishes. Some people on an ordained local ministry might just cover one parish. It's the geography of it. The geography of what is covered is not stipulated, but it does cover a specific geographic area.
Yeah. And of course, it's a voluntary position.
It is indeed, yes.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Well, that's sort of cleared exactly what you'll be doing. So how are you finding your role as a deacon at the moment?
Yeah, it's difficult to describe the change it makes. It does make a change.
Right.
Because if you look at what I'm doing, it's no different from what I was doing in many ways from being a Darson reader. I'm leading morning prayer on a Sunday. I'm doing a little bit of pastoral work, just the same as I was before.
Yeah.
But the essence of it has changed, and it's very difficult to describe. I think the best description I got that's come closest so far is like if you have two people who live together for many, many years and then they get married, their practical circumstances have not changed, but the essence of their relationship has.
Right.
So that's the closest I can come to describing that there is an essence change.
Yes.
And I'm now growing into that essence change.
Right. And in a few months, that relationship will change again.
Yes. Yeah.
When you are fully ordained as a priest, and then can carry out the sacramental duties.
All being well, I am very much looking forward to making that step, but I'm also at the moment trying to focus on enjoying the process of being a deacon.
Yes. And of course, as you mentioned, there are a lot of churches in your group of parishes, aren't there? And between you and the dean, you cover them all.
Well, we do have a group of amazing lay readers.
Yes.
So I've only just moved into the ordained group, but I was one of 5. Now we've got 4 lay readers within the churches, and they are an amazing bunch of people.
As we were saying, the next step for you is to be an ordained local minister in the Tuam area. So what do you see the future after that? Have you plans anything further than that?
Well, I do believe that part of my call into the ordained local ministry is to be working with people with disabilities. I've had a history of working in audiology. I came across multiple disabilities through there. My oldest son has disabilities, ADHD, autism, and so
Oh.
I'm learning greatly about these sorts of disabilities.
Yeah.
And also, I'm autistic myself, diagnosed, and I really want to be able to use my skills in advocating for people with disabilities.
And what will that entail? What sort of route do you see to do that? Is it a route as an OLM, or is it as an experienced civilian person?
So as part of my OLM, I really want to be encouraging churches
Good.
taking disabilities more seriously. The Disability Consultative Group of the Church of Ireland is putting out a questionnaire at the moment, actually trying to get feedback about how churches within the Church of Ireland are providing for the needs of people with physical and mental and other neurodiversity disabilities
Yeah.
in Ireland, and how we are providing for those people to come closer to God, to become closer to a relationship within the church
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, that sounds very exciting. And it's good to have a clear vision of what you think you can do and what you're going to aim for. So that's exciting, Rachel. I do wish you well with that, because it's obviously a great need for that. And you're the ideal person to know what people are going through when they're faced with that situation.
I have a passion for
Yeah.
the whole area.
Yeah, lovely. I mean, you could become a chaplain to autistic and disabled people. Is that the sort of thing? Is there a vacancy there?
It's interesting you use the word chaplain. That was where I've always felt led to. But the situation in Ireland is that chaplaincy is a very specific role within the Church of Ireland. It's not generally a separate role. But I'm happy to just advocate for people.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Rachel. It's been fascinating to catch up with you. We keep bumping into each other, and then circumstances of equipment failure and illness as well suddenly strike us both, and we don't get together. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for joining me. It's been fascinating talking to you, and I do wish you well for the future with your future ideas and your plans, and I pray that you will continue to discover and enjoy your ministry.
Thank you.
This is Clare FM.
I asked Rachel for a choice of music to end our chat, and she came up with this, In Christ Alone, sung by Travis Cottrell.
In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are stilled, when striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I stand. In Christ alone, who took on flesh, fullness of God in helpless babe, this gift of love and righteousness, scorned by the ones he came to save, till on that cross as Jesus died, the wrath of God was satisfied. For every sin on him was laid. Here in the death of Christ I live. There in the ground his body lay, light of the world by darkness slain. Then bursting forth in glorious day, up from the grave he rose again. He stands in victory, since curse has lost its grip on me. For I am his, and he is mine, bought with the precious blood of Christ. The solid rock I stand. All of the ground, all of the ground is sinking sand. On Christ the solid rock I stand. All of the ground is sinking sand. All of the ground is sinking sand. No guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to final breath, Jesus commands my destiny. No power of hell, no scheme.
Well, you're tuned to Beyond Belief on Clare FM on this Sunday evening. And for the next half hour, we're spending time with one of the great American storytellers, Harry Chapin, a man who didn't just write songs, but he wrote mini movies full of characters, heart, humour, and the kind of emotional truth that still hits home today. Harry wasn't just a musician, he was a humanitarian, a campaigner against hunger, and a believer that music could change the world, or at least nudge it in the right direction. So let's begin with a song that became his signature, a story about time, family, and the moments that we miss.
My child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking for I knew it. And as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay, and he walked away, but his smile never dimmed. Said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, the little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. Well, he came from college just the other day, so much like a man I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you, can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them please? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. since retired, my son's moved away. I called him up just the other day. I said, I'd like to see you if you don't mind. He said, I'd love to, Dad, if I can find the time. You see, my new job's a hassle and the kids are the flu, but it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. We're gonna have a good time there.
Harry Chapin wrote songs that felt like conversations, sometimes uncomfortable ones. But long before The Cats in the Cradle became a radio standard, Harry had already shown that he could paint vivid scenes with words. One of his earliest hits was a sprawling, cinematic tale of a taxi driver, a chance encounter, and the life that might have been. It's nearly 7 minutes long, but every second earns its place. Here's Taxi.
It was raining hard in Frisco. I needed one more fare to make my night. A lady up ahead waved to flag me down. She got in at the light. Oh, where you going to, my lady blue? It's a shame you ruined your gown in the rain. She just looked out the window. She said 16 Parkside Lane. Something about her was familiar. I could swear I've seen her face before. But she said, I'm sure you're mistaken. And she didn't say anything more. It took a while, but she looked in the mirror. Then she glanced at the license for my name. A smile seemed to come to her slowly. It was a sad smile just the same. And she said, how are you, Harry? I said, how are you, Sue? Through the too many miles and the too little smiles, I still remember you. It was somewhere in a fairy tale. I used to take her home in my car. We learned about love in the back of a Dodge. The lesson hadn't gone too far. You see, she was gonna be an actress, and I was gonna learn to fly. She took off to find the footlights. I took off to find the sky. Whoa, I've got something inside me to drive the princess blind. There's a wild man wizard, he's hiding in me, illuminating my mind. Oh, I've got something inside me, not what my life's about. 'Cause I've been letting my outside tide me over till my time runs out. there was not much more for us to talk about. Whatever we had once was gone. So I turned my cab into the driveway, past the gate and the fine trim lawns. And she said, we must get together, but I knew it'd never be arranged. Then she handed me $20 for a $2.50 fare. She said, Harry, keep the change. Well, another man might have been angry, and another man might have been hurt, but another man never would let her go. I stashed the bill in my shirt. And she walked away in silence. It's strange how you never know, but we'd both gotten what we'd asked for such a long, long time ago. You see, she was gonna be an actress, and I was gonna learn to fly. She took off to find the footlights, I took off for the sky. And here she's acting happy inside her handsome home, and me, I'm flying in my taxi. I go flying so high when I'm so.
There's something about Harry Chapin's writing. He understood ordinary people. He understood the man behind the microphone too. And that brings us to a song that always resonates with broadcasters. It's the first song I heard of Harry Chapin. It's a tune about a radio DJ whose life hasn't quite gone to plan. It's funny, it's bittersweet, and it's painfully true in places. Here's WOLD.
Hello, honey, it's me. What did you think when you heard me back on the radio? What did the kids say when they knew it was their long-lost daddy-o? Remember how we listened to the radio, and I said, that's the place to be. And how I got the job as an FM jock the day you married me. It was 2 kids and I was into AM rock, but I just had to run around. It's been 8 years since I left you, babe. Let me tell you about what's gone down. I am the morning DJ at WOLD, playing all the hits for you, wherever you may be. The bright good morning voice, who's heard but never seen. Feeling all of 45, going on 15. The drinking I did on my last big gig, it made my voice go low. They said that they liked the young sound when they let me go. So I drifted on down to Tulsa, Oklahoma to do me a late night talk show. Now I've worked my way down home again near to Boise, Idaho. That's how this business goes. I am the morning DJ at WOLD, playing all the hits for you, wherever you may be. The bright good morning voice, who's heard but never seen. Feeling all of 45, going on 15.
but it's never gonna go away. Sometimes I get this crazy dream that I just take off in my car. But you can travel on 10,000 miles and still stay where you are. Thinking that I should stop this jockeying and start that record store. Maybe I could settle down if you take me back once more. Okay, honey, I see. I guess he's better than me. Sure, old girl, I understand. You don't have to worry, I'm such a happy man. I am the morning DJ at WOLD, playing all the hits for you wherever you may be. The bright good morning voice who's heard but never seen, feeling all of 45 going on 15. I am the morning DJ at WOLD.
Harry Chapin's concerts were famous for feeling like gatherings of friends, and there's one song that he often used to bring everyone together, a simple circular melody about community, connection, and the way life loops back on itself. It's a lovely way to play out our programme for this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you have a good bank holiday and the sun continues to shine. Until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Slán agus Bannacht. And here's Harry Chapin with Circle.
It seems like I've been here before. I can't remember when, but I got this funny feeling that I'll be back once again. There's no straight lines make up my life, and all my roads have bends. There's no clear-cut beginnings, and so far no dead ends. I've found you 1,000 times, I guess you've done the same. But then we lose each other, it's just like a children's game. But as I see you here again, the thought runs through my mind. Our love is like a circle